Hello there, and welcome to yet another uh, video in my Car Mechanic 2021 series, specifically the last car in the Hot Rod DLC, the Smith and Parker Old Daddy T. Saved this one for last because I thought it'd be kind of an interesting build. Uh, as you can see, it's not in the best of shape. Very similar to how the other, cars went. So yeah, we're gonna have an interesting time ahead of us here. Let's get this taken care of first. Amazing how much that takes care of that. Alright. So, there's a cozy little interior on that. Look at that. That got us up to our first 100%. So, body, yeah, body's in pretty sad shape. Not to mention the fact that it's missing more than a few parts. Look at everything in the back here. The mirror. Probably go ahead and replace that too. Get both the doors. Get the hood, fender. Get the other fender here. Hang on. One moment. Sorry, I had to go take care of something real quick. Okay, front right fender. And did we get the headlight? Hang on just a second. Get the hood. Right door. We'll just go ahead and mark it. I think we might just end up replacing all the body panels. Why didn't that fix up with the rest of the frame, or is that considered part of... Oh. You have to get it pixel perfect, that's why. Okay. Alright, so let's just get rid of all of this. And then we'll go out to the parts shop. And buy all new things. Okay. Get the tail lights. Side mirror, thank you. The other side mirror. And got door number 1. Door number 2. And the hood. Front left fender. Front right fender. Okay, there's the first headlight. The other. And the front bumper. Okay. Oh, yeah. One thing about having cats in the house, man, you're trying to do a recording and they always want in or out right at the moment that you're busy doing something. Like for about 5 or 10 minutes before I was doing the recording, I was sitting there literally trying to talk the cat into going outside before I hit the record button. No. He wasn't having it. He's like, I don't need to go out. Totally. And then like not even what, 5 minutes, 6 minutes into the recording, the cat wants out. Hey, what are you gonna do? Either that or you have him sit there and staring at you, just, you know, the angry stare for an hour and a half. Like, yeah, no thanks. I'll just go ahead and let the little demon out of the room. Actually, she's a pretty nice little kitty most of the time. Except when she's mad about one thing or another. There we go. Except by part. That put on. Alright. So it looks like front wheels might actually be actionable. I didn't want to go in inspection mode. Alright. See what we can do with this. Okay, we're probably gonna need to write things down because we're gonna need to get 2 different size rims and 2 different size tire sizes. Those words made more sense in my head. Okay, separate. If we can fix these. No, we cannot. So we're gonna have to replace them all anyway. Alright, let's just... because we're gonna have to go off the numbers anyway. I might as well write them down. So... 195... 55 R 13 275 35 R 15s, and this takes a rim 32. Okay. Right. Get to it. Let's look at the rims first. So, rim 32. Not 32A, it's just 2. We need 2 that are 13s and 2 that are 15s. Yeah. Okay. Go to the tire shop. Now, this car looks like it's using the one with the stripe in the middle. So we're going to take an educated guess here and go with vintage tire C because that looks about the closest. Literally only 3 in the entire inventory that have that stripe on them. 2, 13, and 195, 55. Art. And tire C, you need 2 that are 15s. And that is 275 and 35. Okay. Good to me. Double check what we got. Everything looks good. They're all vintage tire C's. So 275, 35, 15s, and 195, 55 are 13s. Okay. Good to go. Alright, let's get them balanced. Alright. I'm assuming these back ones are going to be missing parts. Let's take a look how bad the damage is. Okay, yeah, we're going to need to add a couple of parts. Go to assembly mode. That. Get the parts ordered real quick so we can get this thing basically, I just want to get it standing on its own. Do the parts ordering one side at a time because, you know, why the heck not? Okay. That on there. Of course, it's only accessible from under the car. Get in here. I gotta do that same thing to the other side. We want one of the 275s. Let's go the fatter tires back here. Oh, this one's missing even more. Okay, we're missing a bushing and rear drive axle and a brake drum. We'll go ahead and order that since we have it on the screen. U-bolts. All rubber bushing. And a solid rear drive axle. There we go. We'll replace the rest of the suspension later. Get the other 275 on there. Alright, let's get the front ones back on. Okie dokie. Check the body percentage. Body's 95, so we're still missing a part somewhere. Probably rear bumper, maybe. I don't know. I'll find out here in a minute. Already starting to look pretty stylish. Okay. Tell me, what are you missing? Windshield, probably. Oh shit, I forgot about that rubber bushing. We'll fix that here in a second. And back to the body shop. Windshield. Come on, get back on there. Thank you. Okay, now you should be 100% good. Alright, probably gonna need to get this back up in the air to get that one part on, because it's part of the suspension. There. Okay, while we've got her up in the air, I guess we don't have to worry about the oil, because there's nowhere for it to go. Exhaust is nowhere to be found, so we don't have to worry about that. We will have to get the drive shaft out of the way. Starter's missing 2. And that's telling me right there that the battery's missing. Alright, everything's off of there. Alright, let's get... I don't think we're going to be able to fix that gearbox. Yeah. So get rid of the gearbox. That on the order. Nope, nope. Over here. Brand new gearbox. I might as well go ahead and get the starter too. Starter V8. Good to go. So that's all set to go when we get to that part. Since the battery and the fuse box are underneath the seat, I'm gonna knock those out along with the interior. Do that. Normal. Oh, it's missing all of its fuses. Even better. Okay, so that's not where the battery goes. We still want to take care of this here anyway. So... back to disassembly, get rid of the old one. And I want to go to... actually, this is exactly where we wanted to go. Fuse box base B. Cover B. U. Relay type C's. Fuse type A's. We needed 2 fuse type C's. 2 type B fuses. 3 relay type A's. Believe me, if we get this done now, we don't have to fuss with it later. It's going to be that much better to deal with. Or not have to deal with it later, rather. Okay. Or something along those lines. The battery in the engine compartment's pretty standard. I was half expecting it to be right next to it. Because on some of these Smith & Parkers, they are. They're both under the driver's seat. That leads us to then leads to here, the interior shop. Got 2 leather seats and a steering wheel. Okay, we are 100% on 3 out of 4 now. Interior's good, frame's good, and the body is in good shape. We got her rolling on her own, so let's get her over to paint. Not parking, but paint. Alright, let's see how we can make this thing look absolutely pretty. Okay, metallic paint. I'd almost want to do a black paint job on it, because the old joke about you could have it in any color you want as long as it's black. Like the old Model Ts. See what we can do with that. Maybe. No. We'd have to pick a different color for that. Ooh, there we go. I think we found our color scheme. I wanted something with a little bit of contrast between the liveries and the actual paint job. So. Not bad. I think we found our paint job. Hey, we got an Achievo. You can't see it because the camera's blocking it, but it says artist. I guess I painted enough cars to get that. Nice. Alright, let's move you back to Bay 1. That's looking pretty. I like it. Alright. The engine, not so pretty. Oh, we can make this whole again. We got everything off of it. We don't think we have to worry too much about fluids because I'm pretty sure everything's missing out of here. Yeah. Every friggin' system on this thing's gone. Battery's missing. All the fluid reservoirs are missing, so that's gonna make easy work getting it out. Okay, let's get you over to Bay 1. Excuse me? I thought we already did this part. Did I miss something? Apparently I did. for heaven's sakes. Floating there in the fucking breeze. Not even connected to the engine. Or whatever. Alright, I'm gonna replace that anyway. Oh, I must have thought the exhaust manifold was missing and thought that. Never mind. Never mind. Alright, let's get her back down. Didn't need to bring it down all the way, but get back up there just a smidge. Perfect. He's in bad shape. Oh, you're being held on by one little clip. Like I said, we're going to just trash everything on this except for ideally the crankshaft and the engine block. But I have a feeling one or both of those might be a bit of a stretch to keep. Alright. Get all these push rods out. Missing one. It'll look pretty, but it's just going to take time. Oh, I was going to say, why are you hanging on for dear life? And it had one lone spark plug in it. Oh god, all three of these bolts are rusty. That's good. And out you come. And let's get that bracket off. And you just get tetanus just looking at this engine. And again, in the game, who knows how long it's been sitting there in the junkyard. Well, you can imagine that at least. It's been sitting there a while. Alright, it's everything but the pistons. Let's have a look underneath here and see how well we can take this apart. Looks like we got one that's rusted. Off you go. Those can go. Oh, we still have one bearing cap. Holding on for dear life there, apparently. Alright. There we go. Got her all a pot. See, oh, alright. Yep, I kind of figured we were going to have one or the other we couldn't salvage, but... Or fix up, rather. Get that on there, and we're going to get rid of all the old parts. And spank a new engine block. Well, fixed up anyway. Very nice. Before we get any further, so yeah, 6%. There was no fixing that. Nope, oh, other way. There we go. Let's get rid of everything else. Okay, fuel filter, crankshaft, oil filter, and camshaft. We're starting with just that. And let's see. Fuel filter is a performance part, so we'll go over there first. Fuel filter. Camshaft, yes please. The rest of that is standard parts. Yep, okay. Alright, let's get going. Okay, that's everything on that round. Cam gear. 8 pistons with conrod. 3 crankshaft bearing caps. And a flywheel. That's everything on that round, so let's go here. Flywheel put on, or taken off the list, I guess. And the pistons with conrod are performance parts. Bam. Head on over to the regular parts shop, and we're going to get, before we do anything else, go. May have the right springs, I don't know, but we'll find out here in a second. Cam gear and bearing caps. Okay, so it did take, okay, that was the right one. Okay. Sometimes they take a special one, but most of these are generic, at least the Smith & Parker ones for the most part. We're using the generic V8 style in the, or design in this game, and they use their regular pistons. Alright. That's... Nope, forgot the crankshaft bearing caps. Now we're down to the next round. Okay. Timing chain. Engine heads. I think that's everything. Here, get the performance parts first. So we got our clutch plate. Those two are standard parts. 2 engine heads. Before we get too much further, let's get that clutch plate on. One more. Good there. Okay, that's going to be on the next round. Okay, got a ton of parts to order for next time. Let's get started here. Pressure plate, oil pan, 2 exhaust manifolds, timing cover, intake manifold, 16 push rods, 8 spark plugs, and we'll get the rocker arms ordered at the same time. They're not on the list, but we'll need those once we get the push rods installed. Alright, rock on. Oh, helps if we're in the right spot. Go. Intake manifold. Both exhaust manifolds, thank you. And clutch pressure plate. Here, the oil pan, timing cover, and we get our 16 push rods. Rocker arm. Need 16 of those. We're also going to need generic release bearing. Now we can work on things a little easier. Alright. We're going to get all this stuff crammed in there. Get in there. There you go. I'm going to work our way down this engine head. Do it one valve at a time, essentially. Come on. There we go. Sometimes you gotta pixel perfect the darn thing. Spark plugs in first. Get the exhaust manifold and work our way up the side here. Go. All right. Get in there. few more to do. Go. That's everything from that round. Let's get the next thing. So crankshaft pulley, water pump, head covers, nice big fat carburetor, distributor. Already got everything on the clutch side of things, so let's go over here and carburetor's definitely a performance part. Distributor. Yeah, the rest of these look like standard parts, so we're good on that. All right. Here, grab the pulley, water pump, and both head covers. Carburetor to top it all off. Okay, that should be. Oh, nope, not quite. Forgetting the stuff on the front. I was like, oops. Alright, so we got a couple of arms here. Let's grab those. Pump pulley, filter base, and rotor. Okay. Looking pretty good here. Let's check the list. We do have some performance parts in there. Okay. The arms are standard parts. Filter base and pump pulley are all standard issue. Okay, we got the one arm. The other. There's our pulley and the filter base. Everything, so now we get to order a bunch more parts. Riveter cap, and I'm pretty sure that takes a clip B. We'll get that while we're in there. Okay. Head back over to the performance shop. Alternator. Our steering pump. Distributor cap. Air filter. And 3. Oh, right, because those are standard parts. 3 idle roller A's. And 2 clip B's to hold the distributor cap down. That on there. Center on that, because getting these clips on, depending upon how the engine's built, be a bit of a, you know, pixel hunt. So yeah, usually not too bad though. Get wires on there, filter cover. Be ready for the belts. And the performance, yes, the ignition wires. Rest is just regular issue. And there's a filter cover. Serpentine belt. Right. Okay, so the fan should be our last part. Okay, do a quick check here, make sure we don't have any other grayed out parts. It doesn't look like it. And there we go. One freshly rebuilt V8 engine. Very pretty. Take that off the stand. We'll put that back in the car and then we will move on. Things green, looking good. No question marks anymore. Get rid of the crane, aka the cherry picker. Don't need that anymore. What I do need to do is get all the missing shit in here. I think that's everything. We'll put the transmission, aka the gearbox, back on here in a minute. But for now, I just want to get everything in the engine compartment taken care of. So, shopping list. Okay, power steering reservoir. Radiator. Check. Brake servo. Check. Batteries obviously an electrical. Actually. Alright. Guess that means we can go make our way around and put all the fluids in. And that just leaves us with coolant. Okay. That should be it for the engine compartment. Let's get her up in the air and then we'll take care of the fuel system and the exhaust. It looks like it might still take a bog standard fuel pump, so let's go over to the performance shop and fuel pump. Okay, so she's got fuel now. So theoretically, she should be able to start. Be back up. Oh, not quite that close. Okay, we got front exhaust section, front exhaust pipe, two middle mufflers, and two rear mufflers. All of which can be found right here. Okay. Got your middle mufflers right here. And your rear muffler. Right. That on there. Come on. Okie dokie. Takes care of the exhaust system. Okay, we got just the drive shaft, and that gets us. Hang on. Yeah, it gets us to 77%, so we're pretty close already. That leaves us just the rear suspension and the front suspension to work on. And then it's off to the alignment rack and then to dyno. So, making good progress. Alright, let's get this thing apart. Okay. Get the U-bolts off there. Like I said, I don't know how much of this we're actually going to be able to repair, so we may end up replacing a good chunk of this. The bushings are always a replace item. They're basically consumables, if you think about it. Sweet, that's everything off of there. Going to be in a bit of a focus mode here because I want to get as many of these repaired as possible. Alright, let's see where that left us. Decent shape. Get rid of the old parts. Bam. It's not too bad. Shopping list. It'd be worse. given where we started in terms of part quality at the beginning, I mean, we're in good shape right now. All right, put it back together. That drive shaft out of our inventory now that we got the other half of it in there. The leaf spring rear drive axle is what I meant to say. In case I confused the heck out of anybody. It out. If you're this far into the video series, there's a good chance you're used to my ramblings anyway. Just saying. Alright, let's get this other side built up. Don't want to forget the bushings, ever. Alright, there we go. Okay, just double check, and we've got missing leaf springs probably on the other side. Yep. Wait, always double check when you're done, just in case you're missing parts. See, I got in a hurry. I wanted to get that wheel on there. And, yep. Everyone, you don't want spare parts like that lying around. Especially when you're working on cars. Okay. Back end's done. Now we just need to get these front tires off, and we'll do the same for this. Oh man, this whole front end is just like so freaking rusty. Come on out. There you go. Surprised we haven't hit more rusty bolts doing this. To be honest. Come on. And there go. Before we go fixing stuff up here, yeah, those assemblies are just god-awful parts-wise, or condition-wise. Oh. Broke one. Not the end of the world, though. I don't play games like this tired. Right, we're gonna have quite a bit to order. I kind of figured. Yep. Like I said, we're gonna have quite a shopping list. Yep. A little bit of everything. Kind of slowly work our way through here. But you know, once we get everything bought, this should go back together rather quickly. Nope, backed up. Hang on. There we go. Okay, kind of finishing up the last of our purchasing here. One of those or two? One. Alright, let's get those assemblies put back together. First things first. This put in. Alright, let's get this other suspension arm put on. Brakes slapped back on. Knew we were forgetting something. There we go. Get that end link on there. Suspension arm. And get the bearing and the brake disc, cap, and the brakes. Thank God we don't have to bleed the brakes on this thing. Or any of the cars for that matter. Alright, check the numbers. And 100% part quality on everything. Reached our goal. Very nice. Alright, get you over to the alignment rack. Okay, there's that. Right. Okie dokie. Let's get her over to the dyno bench and see what our numbers look like. Man, it's a pretty looking car. It's going to make for some good thumbnails for the video. So, 204 horsepower, 251 pound-feet of torque. Not great, but respectable. See where she ends up here. Love that sound. $324, so a gain of 121, so 60% increase. 251 pound-feet of torque, so 385 after, so a gain 135. Again, could be worse. Could be a lot worse. I'll take it. I'm happy with those numbers. Alright, let's get her outside. We'll get some screenshots and we'll do a quick run on the speed track. I'm not expecting much on the speed track, but I still want to do it. Right. Click. And let's see. I'm going to try to get you centered right about there. This looks like a go-kart. It's so small compared to most of the cars. Especially when you compare it to, like, that. Anyway. Moving on. Let me in. Alright, speed track. Here we come. Again, don't expect miracles, but we'll see how she does. Right, off we go. And pretty good launch. She's already at 60, 70, 80, 90. Oh, we broke 100. 110, 120, 130. Oh, 138. Not bad. And she's even stopping on her own nice and straight too, so that means we did a good job on everything. Alright, let's go back to the garage. 130 miles an hour is respectable. I mean, this thing would hold its own on most US highways. The Autobahn, probably not so much, but hey, we're not going there. Literally or figuratively. But yeah, this would definitely hold its own on the highways, at least out here. Okay. So let's take a look at the numbers. So bought it for $8,000. You can see the condition bonus and the parts values and everything, how they factor in. We made a profit of 74.1 for a total of 82.3. Almost a 10x return. I mean, come on, that's considering where these cars started and where they ended up. Dude, we've been making like hella good profit on these cars. Not only are they beautiful cars, and they restore very nicely. Smith and Parker did a wonderful job on these cars. The guys that made this game did a good tribute to them. And dude, I'm loving these. This was a fun DLC. I wasn't too sure. At first I was like, okay, I'll just do these first and then get to the stuff I wanted to get to. And then the more I worked on these, basically the more I liked them. And I'm rather impressed with this DLC. It was rather packed with cars. It was like 5 cars we did. This is episode number 5 of those, so we got our mileage out of it. Okay. So, a little bit of housekeeping here. We are going to be doing this one next, and this is basically a Shelby Cobra racing car, also known as the AC Cobra for those outside the US. Although it's named something different, it's actually DC Typhoon, but it's a Shelby, dude. Come on. And then, once we get done with that, we're going to be starting off on the first of the cars for the Pagani DLC. This is going to be one of the ones that's in the better shape. We're actually starting off with one in the 70s, 60, 70% part quality or part condition range. So let's move some stuff from parking while we're on the recording here. So Pagani Zonda Revolution. Again, another one that's in reasonable shape, but it needs some work. We're basically going to breathe on it and do what we can with them. That's going to go to the waiting room, which is over here. I do love the paint job on that. And we're going to get car number 3 because there's only 3 cars in the Pagani DLC. That's the one that's going to be probably the most fun for me. I'm probably going to clean this one off stream or off camera. But yeah, these other 2, like I said, they're going to be taken apart, lightly touched, cleaned up, and largely put together. We're going to put new performance parts in them like we do all the cars. But the body panels and everything in the interior is probably just going to be just lightly touched on and maybe a brand new paint job put on them. And then slap back together and we'll see where we end up with them. Paid a king's ransom for those first 2 cars. This one was a junkyard find. As you see, it's probably one of the worst shaped cars we've seen in a while. And probably going to be the most expensive restore. Maybe. But yeah. Big things in store. And even bigger things further on. As you can see, we got all the cars for the Aston Martin DLC. We got the Porsche cars. All, 4 of them. We got Land Rover, Mercedes. I think that's about it for the moment. So, with that, you get basically this is just the taste of what's to come in the next several episodes. We got a filler car that's going to kind of give us a little bit of a flavor change between DLCs, which is still going to be a nice car. Like I said, it's basically a Shelby clone. We're going to go right into what I think are some of the most expensive cars I've done so far. The Pagani series. Again, 3 cars for that. And then we'll move on to probably the Aston Martin one next. Starting with the DB5, by the way, the Bond car. So with that, I'll turn you guys loose. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. You don't have to, but hey, it helps. We did, by the way, finally crack the 1,000 view mark the other day. In fact, we're at over 1,100 now. I mean, like I said, you guys have been absolutely killing it in a good way. And hopefully you guys will stick around for the rest of the stuff because I've got tons of really good content in the future. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video.